Hey warrior, today I'm speaking to the seasoned souls, the older women who carry their years like medals, even as the world forgets how to bow. You notice it, don't you? The subtle shrinking in crowds, the world's gaze passing over you, as if your value is packaged in nostalgia or memory, never in the fresh clarity of your presence. You wake up with wisdom, but sometimes with the ache of invisibility. You watch people chase youth like it's a finish line, clinging to validation as if it gives them air. You feel that shrinking, that silence. Stop. The Stoics teach, value is what you give yourself, not what others return. You are not an echo of your younger self, but the echo of something unbreakable, a sovereignty earned by survival. Breathe. This is not the night you fade. This is when you remember the weight of your dignity. Tonight, we reveal the 7 habits that don't just make you visible, they make you irresistible. Not to the shallow, but to the truly alive. Now, let's strip away noise and step into your awakened self. She does not apologize for her presence. She walks into a room like a wave meeting sand. Subtle, powerful, unapologetic. You know this version. The woman whose silence is not an absence, but a boundary painted in gold leaf. In your younger years, perhaps you filled the silence with jokes, approval, nervous chatter. But now, you learn the Stoic law. Actual confidence rarely speaks. It just is. The irresistible older woman knows when to retreat into dignity. And her stillness draws attention like gravity. Imagine her at a table full of opinions, where voices clamber atop one another like caffeinated squirrels. She listens, tracking words not as weapons to wield, but as curious weather passing across her day. When she does speak, her words land with the calm assurance of a lighthouse beam, unhurried, certain, impossible to ignore. Heads turn not out of obligation, but from curiosity. What disturbance does still water know, after all? In a world caffeinated on oversharing and self-promotion, her restraint is its own power move. She knows that energy conserved is energy amplified. While others performance peacock their way through conversations, she settles in, shoulders relaxed, eyes curious, hands unmoved by the compulsion to fidget or fill the air. If social anxiety is a bonfire, she's a cup of cold mountain water poured on it, soft but transformative. Everyone suddenly wants to listen when she finally leans in. Her confidence is not accidental. It is less a birthright and more a muscle, toned through years of letting go, of needing to rescue silences with explanations, of needing crowds to grant her legitimacy. She's learned the magic of being selectively visible, a kind of intentional privacy that acts as velvet rope. You may see, but you may not enter unless invited. Notice her posture, not rigid, but unapologetically present. Shoulders back, chest open, not to parade herself, but in a quiet claim of space. Some might mistake her calm for coldness, but that's only because they expect fireworks from everyone. What they get from her is a midnight sky, worth stepping outside for, worth quieting down to experience. People are drawn to her gravity, not just because she withholds, but because she's at ease with not being everyone's cup of chamomile. She does not attempt to fold herself into the origami shapes others require. Instead, her edges remain, soft but unmoved. She's proof that setting boundaries doesn't mean building walls. It's painting lines in gold leaf and letting the worthy step closer. The Stoic woman is the patron saint of holding her own leash, of not tethering her sense of self to any passing stranger's opinion. She knows the difference between being noticed and being needed, and her serenity makes her rare in an economy of attention seekers. If confidence were cologne, Hers is the kind that lingers long after she's left the room, the kind you can't quite name, but secretly wish you could wear. She masters the ancient art of the meaningful glance, the strategic pause. No, spoken gently, becomes a complete sentence. Yes, when it does arrive, feels like sunlight after a long dusk, infrequent and therefore cherished. And as you drift along this quiet tide, remember, loudness may win the moment, but gravitas collects over years. You too can practice the art of quiet confidence, a gentle, gold-leafed presence that changes the atmosphere without ever breaking a sweat. The irresistible secret isn't in how she fills the silence, but in how she owns it, leaving the world just a little more inclined to listen, and you just a little more ready to rest. Wrinkles, wisdom lines, silver hair, she does not cover them with shame. She honors the map life drew on her face and body. Her secret? She does not hustle for worthiness. When you stand in front of the mirror, the critic arrives first. Stop. The Stoic refuses to fight time. They accept it, then transcend it. She radiates peace with her flaws. She has made a truce with herself, and that truce sings louder than any praise. Close your eyes and picture a wise old tortoise. Does he worry about the rings etched into his shell? Never. He carries his weathered armor with the casual confidence of someone who literally cannot remove it, no matter how many Instagram reels he watches on 5 tips to shed your past. That tortoise, like our Stoic, trusts that every mark and groove tells a story more valuable than any filter. Radical self-acceptance is not pretending you're flawless. It's the art of calling a truce with your inner gremlin, feeding it a calming cup of chamomile tea, and tucking it into bed with the gentle words, "You've worried enough for today." Even the ancient Stoics, those bearded philosophers in togas, knew the inner critic well. Epictetus would have rolled his eyes at the idea of fixing yourself to keep up with the societal highlight reel. Instead, he would pat your shoulder and say, "Want less, judge less, and don't compare your nose to a marble statue." Imagine how much mental energy humanity would save if we all wore our perceived flaws like limited edition accessories. Scar, collector's item, awkward laugh, rarest melody in the orchestra of existence. Making peace with yourself takes audacity in a world obsessed with editing reality until it snaps like the waistband of old sweatpants. Self-acceptance is rebellion. When you choose to honor your quirks and that one unpredictable eyebrow hair, you are holding up a sign that says, "Imperfection is my superpower." Radical acceptance does not mean that you stop growing, but you stop gardening with poison. You weed with kindness and you prune with patience, not a chainsaw powered by shame. At night, as you drift off, practice the most peaceful act of defiance. Whisper, "Thank you," to yourself. Thank your legs for taking you places, even if it's just to the fridge at midnight. Thank your heart for feeling too much and your mind for caring deeply, even if sometimes it spirals faster than a caffeinated squirrel. Radical self-acceptance is about refusing to outsource your value to strangers on the internet, or the memory of that one mean 5th grade classmate. You are a limited edition, non-refundable, slightly wonky masterpiece, signed by existence, dated today. Imagine waking up tomorrow and greeting your reflection like an old friend, not a rival. Instead of tallying perceived flaws, what if you looked for tiny victories? The way your eyes crinkle when you laugh, the thoughtfulness behind your silent moments, that peculiar constellation of freckles that map out a galaxy known only to you. You are here. You are enough, exactly as you are, creased and sparkling, flawed and full of possibility. The Stoic way is to stand under the sky of your own self-worth and realize even the stars above are covered in scars. They still shine. So do you. Other people's opinions? Not her problem. Her peace is fortified, not up for negotiation. Years ago, you may have sprinted for validation through partners, jobs, applause. But watch this woman. She has learned detachment, the gentle art of caring without clinging. She listens, but she doesn't beg. She loves, but she doesn't lose herself. That serenity is magnetic. Picture her as a calm rock in the center of a wild, caffeinated squirrel convention. Everyone around her is desperately shaking acorns and flinging opinions like confetti, but she just sips her chamomile tea. She's unbothered, like a stoic ninja who's realized that the only approval she truly needs is from a very picky, internal quality control department run by her own conscience. Detachment isn't about fleeing from the world and hiding in a cave with Netflix and takeout. It means being in the world, scrolling through group chats, opening work emails, listening to that uncle at the family dinner who thinks conspiracy theories pair well with dessert, without letting any of it stick to your self-worth like stubborn gum on a shoe. She chooses where to invest her energy, like a highly selective emotional stockbroker. Not every comment needs a reaction. Not every request deserves a yes. Most things, she simply lets float by. Like clouds, she spots through her window, while being faintly amused by the latest Twitter drama. Her emotional boundaries are legendary, like velvet ropes outside an exclusive club. She's not dismissive. She waves to passing opinions with a polite nod, thanks them for trying, and returns to her center. If someone throws shade, she stands under her personal sun lamp, unbothered, skin glowing. If someone seeks drama, she hands them a ticket to a one-woman peace show starring herself. Modern Stoicism doesn't mean you turn into a robot or a rock, or, heaven forbid, a rock painted like a robot. It means you understand that you can care deeply, support friends, root for your team, even ugly cry at the occasional dog rescue video, without letting external turbulence decide your inner climate. She's perfected the art of holding space for life's chaos, while reserving the penthouse suite of her mind for stillness. There is, of course, comedy in detachment. Remember that time a friend texted her, "Can you believe what she said about you?" And she replied, "No, but I believe it rained today." Aren't clouds wild? It's not dismissiveness. It's Zen-level practicality. Not everything demands 12 rounds in the boxing ring of your attention. She applies the 2 rules of remarkable detachment. Pause before reaction. And remember that people who waste energy on drama probably struggle to program their own coffee maker. As you drift off tonight, imagine placing each nagging thought, person, or social media update into fluffy marshmallow boats and gently setting them down a wide, lazy river. They may call your name. They may float back around the bend, holding new opinions or hotter gossip. But you, wise sleeper, are anchored to the peaceful harbour of detachment. You've got your own weather system, a pleasant forecast, endless dusk, and the gentle knowledge that finally validation doesn't need to arrive from anywhere but within. That wholeness is the true treasure. The magnetic quality you noticed in her is now growing in you, a calm glow that nothing external can dim. Thank your opinions for visiting. Compliment your critics on their persistence. And rest easy, knowing your peace is your own reality TV show, renewed for another serene season, with no commercial breaks. She holds boundaries like sacred oaths. Old age, she knows, is not about shrinking for others, but expanding within her own sovereign ground. She says no with the calm finality of a sunrise ending the night. You feel the urge to please, to give too much. She teaches that true generosity begins with self-respect. By valuing her peace, she commands respect from everyone else. Picture her, a matriarch, not of a bustling royal court, but of a sunlit living room, tea in hand, a glare shifted expertly over bifocals whenever you start talking about open-door policies and collaborative group chats. She laughs, a soft rumbling sound, as you propose yet another spontaneous dinner party at her place. A boundary, she suggests, isn't a barricade. It's more like a well-tended hedge, aesthetic, considerate, but not to be trampled by anyone making noise about just 5 minutes of your time. Every phone call after 8 p.m. goes to voicemail. Her doorbell after dark, ignored, unless it's the fox from last winter looking for scraps again. Foxes respect property lines, after all. She sets these rules not to alienate, but to cultivate relationships that are healthy, durable, and respectful. If something drains her peace, out it goes. Like that mystery plant a neighbour gifted, her, which turned out to be more invasive than helpful. The neighbour, like the plant, received a tactful, clear boundary. Rooted out, but without malice, she's mastered the art of the gentle no. No to unsolicited advice about her outfits. No to last-minute outings, unless the moon is in a particularly persuasive phase. She teaches you the Stoic secret. The universe won't collapse if you don't agree to everything. It might even improve. If someone sulks, protest bakes, or launches a guilt trip worthy of the ancient Greeks, she remains unmoved. Other people's tempests are not my storm, she reminds herself. She's not unkind. She's simply immune to boundary guilt, a rare and enviable trait. You might think boundaries are selfish, like taking the last cookie and blaming your nephew. She'd arch an eyebrow and say, "A fence keeps the cows in, but it also keeps the foxes out." In her youth, she gave her time, her love, her prized lemon meringue recipe, sometimes at the expense of her sanity. Now she engages deliberately. If you want her time, you book in advance. She has office hours. She does not do spontaneous Zoom calls, except perhaps for her favourite grandchild. Maybe. The discipline isn't in the announcing, but in the maintaining. At the local bridge club, she's fond of declaring, "I don't tolerate cheaters, noisy eaters, or spoilers for mystery novels." When new members protest, she sends them her pamphlet on civil discourse and an eye roll with a smile. Holding boundaries, she says, isn't about being rigid. It's about creating a greenhouse for joy. You get plenty of light and water, but nobody throws rocks at your tomatoes. She knows your fear. What if they don't like me? The wise woman grins, arranging her evening slippers with more intention than a diplomat arranging treaties. People-pleasing is never as fulfilling as pillow-pleasing, she assures you. She doesn't apologise for protecting her calm. She'd sooner apologise to her slippers for overuse. In a world that interrupts constantly, dings, pings, and algorithmic nudges, she models the power of serene refusal. You watch her mark her boundaries with humour and ceremony, never bile. She's not shrinking. She's expanding into herself, carving her peace in a noisy world, gate kept only by kindness and a well-oiled hinge. Anyone knocking past curfew will likely be met with her signature, an unshakable, unyielding, exquisitely soft "no thank you." Then she teeters away, slippers whispering across polished floors, carrying her wild, wise heart into a night she owns completely. Yes, she laughs, often and loudly. But her humour is not laced with self-hate or bitterness. It's the laughter of someone who's cried all her tears and survived anyway. The irresistible older woman befriends irony, mocks her own mistakes, and forgives the absurdity of life. She uses humour as a shield and an invitation. Come closer, but only if your soul is awake. You may think laughter is cheap, a nervous tick for the uncomfortable. But hers is not awkward giggling at bad puns on daytime television. It's the rolling, unapologetic release of cosmic irony, seasoned over decades, brewed in the cauldron of embarrassing experiences and unexpected plot twists. She doesn't cackle to escape her anxiety or hide from regret. She laughs because the world is so spectacularly unpredictable that the only logical response, if you're honest, if you're humble, is to meet it with a grin and a raised eyebrow. She isn't the queen of sarcasm, wielding wit as a weapon. Snark is for amateurs, for those afraid to feel. When she pokes fun, it is never at someone's expense. Not unless that someone is herself. Gleefully recounting the tale of the time she accidentally sent a flirty text to her dentist, or that year she tried goat yoga, only to be outperformed by the goats. Her recollections invite everyone to join the circle, to admit life is weird for all of us. Her humour is a gentle hand, offering the reminder that it's safe to be imperfect, to belly flop into awkwardness and resurface, gasping, ready for the next round. To her, humour is not detachment, it's deep engagement. This is laughter that knows the dark is real and chooses to shine anyway. She doesn't play the comedian to avoid feeling or to bury pain. Rather, she's spent time in the ditch, gotten bit by the existential bugs, and come back with droll stories and a well-practiced mosquito swat. Bitterness is heavy. She's travelled light for years. Grudges and resentments are like putting rocks in your pockets before you swim across a lake. Instead, she floats, sometimes because she's learned to let things go, sometimes because she simply forgets where she left all that old baggage. There is a sparkle in her eye because she knows every foible can be a punchline, just not cruelly so. She may rib her friends about their bad taste, in television, or their inability to keep houseplants alive, but her teasers land softly, never corrosive. The joke is always, we're in this together. Never, look how foolish you are. She tells the truth, but with a wink, never a slap. She's immune to the prickliness of aging cynics, not because she can't see what's wrong with the world, but because she's already filed the paperwork with fate's customer service and knows no manager is coming. Instead, she names and welcomes the absurdities. That grown-ups are just as confused as children. That nobody's got it all together. That life is more talent show than TED Talk. And so every disappointment is allowed to morph, over time, into an absurd anecdote. Fodder for future dinner parties or whispered jokes to the universe. With her, laughter is a spark that lights the dark, a kind of practical magic available on rainy Mondays and birthdays missing a few names on the guest list. Her jokes are permission slips to be human, socks that never match, dreams that never came true, the cats that left hair on her favourite little black dress. She teaches that humour doesn't subtract, it multiplies. There's always enough for everyone. To laugh without bitterness is a superpower, cultivated through seasons of rejection, hope, and reinvention. It's how she says, this is what courage looks like, not the absence of pain, but the ability to giggle at the unpredictable choreography of spilled coffee, missed trains, and found friendships. In her world, irony and humility are old dance partners, and you're invited to join. All you need is an open soul, and maybe a thick enough skin to survive an honest belly laugh at your own expense. Baths with lavender, books in late afternoon sun, unapologetic naps. She turns small self-care into quiet protest. When life rushes, she slows. When others burn out, she glows. The world whispers guilt for every pleasure. She claims pleasure as her act of rebellion. And, in her calm devotion to her own well-being, she glows in ways no anti-aging serum could promise. She lights a candle, not for ambience, but as a miniature beacon. Her own lighthouse in the relentless tide of notifications and obligations. She watches the flame flicker and wonders briefly if Plato ever considered the metaphysics of scented wax. before remembering that Plato probably just smelled like old scrolls and philosophical anxiety. For her, the scent of lavender signals a ceasefire. Brain, you may rest. Soul, you may stretch out and take up space. There's defiance in her slow steeping of tea, in the measured circle of honey on a spoon. The world roars, go faster, optimize. She swirls her tea and lets her thoughts steep with it. Unhurried, lazy, radical. What if leisure is not luxury, but armor? A bubble bath forming shield against burnout. A rom-com watched under too many blankets, a helmet gleaming against the daily siege. While the rest of the office clings to caffeinated productivity like shipwreck survivors to debris, she takes her lunch outside. She eats slowly, feeling the sun instead of tapping through notifications. A bite taken deliberately, a deep breath unmonetized. She is a Stoic with a sandwich, plotting her next micro-rebellion. Her joy is neither performative nor curated for Instagram. It is gloriously analog and low resolution. Her pleasure is not a Pinterest board, but a small, determined no in a world of constant yes. When the guilt arrives, late as usual, she greets it like an over-eager neighbor, politely, but with boundaries. Not today, thanks. I'm busy doing nothing, and I take my nothing very seriously. Every nap tucked under a quilt is a humbling reminder that the body deserves what the schedule scorns. Rest not as reward, but as right. Her skin routine is not a negotiation with time, but a treaty with presence. Each dab of moisturizer is a retrieved moment from a day that tried to sell it to someone else. She massages her temples, not to erase wrinkles, but to remind herself that her head, heavy with thoughts and daydreams, deserves gentleness. If smooth foreheads were goals, Stoics would have invented Botox. Instead, she smooths out anxieties with patience and a jade roller found on clearance. Self-care, for her, is a whispered refusal of late capitalism's panic. She patches her genes and her psyche with the same calm persistence. Resistance can look like bubble baths, yes, but sometimes it's silent. In the decision to reread a favorite book instead of doom scrolling, in letting playlists shuffle without skipping to the next better thing. She is a disciple of simple joys, a collector of tiny frictions against burnout. Every pleasure taken without shame becomes an act of insurgency. This is not the soft rebellion of scented candles alone, but a reassertion of sovereignty over her own attention, her own delight. She is not waiting for a permission slip to rest or a productivity app to gamify her happiness. She wraps herself in her own comfort, as if to say, softness too is an armor. In a world that markets exhaustion as virtue, she treats self-nourishment as sacred. And so she glows, not for the gaze of others, but from the radical act of being fully, beautifully, unapologetically alive. While the world performs on Instagram, she listens, deeply, deliberately. She hears between the words, beneath the noise. Her love language is quiet attention. The irresistible woman leaves people with the feeling of being seen and understood. Rare gifts in a world desperate to be heard. She asks questions not to fill silence, but to carve connection. Imagine for a moment, you're at a noisy dinner party. Everyone's trying to be the loudest, the wittiest, the most viral. But there she sits, undaunted by the din, asking the kind of question that could stop traffic, or at least the table. What's been on your mind lately? Really? She asks, steering you away from safe, shallow waters and into the deep end. Suddenly, you're not racing to tell your story. You're invited to rest in the rarest shade of all, unhurried understanding. Listening today is a radical act, like wearing socks with sandals, but infinitely more stylish, and much less likely to get you banned from Fashion Week. The irresistible woman does not reload her conversational cannons in anticipation. She lets your words land softly, sighing gently if they make her laugh, or simply meeting your story with a twinkle in her eye. She's more interested in hearing about your failed sourdough starter than launching into tales of her own vacation mishaps. Unless, of course, it'll make you laugh so hard you nearly snort water out your nose. Her pauses are soft places for sentences to unwind in. Her nods gentle nudges that say, "Go on, I'm here." She knows that a pause is not a sign of dead air, but fertile ground. A plot twist in the podcast of human interaction. In a world living at 2 times speed, she stays at 1 times, unafraid of silence, trusting that what's unsaid is sometimes more revealing than a 10-slide Instagram story. When you speak with her, there's a sense she's not just collecting interesting tidbits to someday sprinkle on her oatmeal of wisdom. She's there with you, hands wrapped around a metaphorical mug of tea, presence steaming in the chilly air of distraction. She resists the gravitational pull of dopamine notifications. Her phone remains a forgotten artifact in her bag, a silent vote for this moment, this conversation, this you. Her listening is not a performance. There's no Oscar at the end, only the quiet contentment of knowing she's made someone feel a little less alone in the universe. And what a gift that is. Ask anyone who's sat with her, and they'll tell you, you walk away feeling not just heard, but known, like you've finally been invited to the VIP section of your own life. She's the kind of person who finds beauty in the uncool, reverence in the ordinary. Your dad's relentless pun obsession, adorable. Your love for 17th century Norwegian cheese lore. Tell her more. She's genuinely fascinated. Even your 3rd rewatch of a comfort sitcom is safe ground for her attention. Nothing is too small, too cringy, or too niche. What matters is that it matters to you. Through unhurried listening, she transforms even the briefest encounters. The barista, the rideshare driver, the person behind her in the cereal aisle. They all leave a little lighter for having met her. She embodies the Stoic principle that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. To listen more than we speak. Real connection isn't about dazzling people. It's about being present for them long after the applause fades. She doesn't need to be the life of the party. She is the heart of it, stitching together stories, holding space for laughter, for awkward silences, even for the poetry of things are left unsaid. In a hurried world, her unhurried wisdom is a superpower, one practiced in stillness, polished by patience, and quietly, gently, changing lives one conversation at a time. Old friends, cherished rituals, lifelong causes, she tends to them like sacred fires. She does not trade up. She does not discard. Her loyalty is refined, not naive. The Stoics know, what you commit to, you sanctify. She knows which roots to water, and her constancy becomes a rare luxury in a culture obsessed with novelty. Call it devotion, fidelity, or just plain stubbornness. Whatever the word, her loyalty feels like a secret superpower. At a dinner party, she's the one laughing at jokes that were funny back in 2009. The one who lovingly maintains a decades-old playlist. And the one who still remembers when you switched to oat milk because of that one sad documentary. Her group chats have dust on them, but she keeps showing up. Her presence like a beloved sweater that only gets softer with time. This is not a woman seduced by the perpetual ticker tape of upgrades and hot takes. This is a woman building cathedrals out of consistency in a world full of pop-up shops for the soul. Stoic philosophy places loyalty next to wisdom like 2 old chess partners, each move calculated, each sacrifice purposeful. Epictetus once warned against becoming a reed shaken in the wind, and while everyone else is busy looking for greener grass, she's digging irrigation channels for the roots she already has. Loyalty, to her, isn't a passive default or a reflexive loyalty program click. It is chosen painstakingly and then fiercely defended. There is nothing quaint about her steadfastness. No, her loyalty is a radical act in a gig economy of the heart. Now, this does not mean she ignores glaring red flags. She knows very well that loyalty to the wrong people or causes is just as dangerous as disloyalty to the right ones. You'll never hear her say, "But we've always done it this way," in defense of a sinking ship. No, she knows that a true Stoic chooses where to plant their roots just as carefully as they defend them. Blind persistence? Boring. Selective. Discerning tenacity. Now we're talking. It's less about staying loyal to everyone and more about staying loyal to what is worthy. Should you ever attempt to tempt her away with the flavor of the week, a new app, a trendier friend group, a suddenly viral philosophy, she might smile politely, but her heart doesn't budge. "I have my people," she'll say, "and my causes." It's the psychological equivalent of refusing to repot a thriving old jade plant just because terracotta is in this season. When new things come along, she subjects them to the slow, deliberate dance of trust building. Loyalty, after all, is slow cooked, never microwaved. Rest assured, her kind of loyalty doesn't come with a punch card or a badge of honor. It shows up quietly, in texts asking how your dog is recovering from surgery months ago, or in rituals kept alive solely because someone, somewhere, still cares. Her loyalty is devoted to the precious few, not to the crowd. It lives in the overlooked corners, a recipe passed down with notes in the margin, an inside joke preserved through years of irrelevance, a vote cast for the cause that never lands in the headlines. So the next time you marvel at her steadfastness, remember, she isn't allergic to change, nor is she chained to the past. Instead, she's conducting a careful inventory, weeding out the rote and the rotten, anchoring herself to what deserves her constancy. The rest is graciously, courageously left to drift downstream. In this, loyalty becomes her form of quiet rebellion, a subtle, soulful stand against the chaos, reminding those around her that deep roots, once chosen, can weather almost any storm. She reads, explores, asks uncomfortable questions, and evolves. She knows stagnation is the true enemy of beauty. You see it in her eyes. Curious, restless, lit from within. The irresistible older woman never fossilizes. She adapts, redefines, and becomes endlessly interesting, especially to herself. There's a mischievous alchemy happening here, like a scientist in a slightly crumpled lab coat, gleefully mixing dangerous potions. Except her beakers are books, conversations, late-night YouTube rabbit holes, and spontaneous weekend road trips to places with suspiciously haunted-sounding names, like Mossy Holler. She's allergic to dullness the way cats are apparently allergic to closed doors. The Amazon package on her doorstep could be an obscure novel, a Himalayan salt lamp, or a DIY telescope kit. The point is, you never know, and that's how she likes it. Curiosity, for her, isn't a childish phase left in the dust of playgrounds. It's the lifeblood of adulthood, the high-octane fuel that keeps her spirit from congealing into that dreaded state of she's set in her ways. No, she asks herself, what if? In the same way others ask, are you going to finish those fries? With boldness and zero shame. She doesn't know it all. How gloriously freeing. There is always more, always something new to love, prod, poke, or argue gently with on a rainy Tuesday over good coffee and a strong Wi-Fi signal. She's that rare specimen who reads both the novel and the footnotes, collects passport stamps and new friends with equal fervour, and once tried fermenting her own hot sauce because... Not. She eavesdrops on strangers' conversations, not for gossip, but to learn what weird hobbies people have. Ferret racing, anyone. Even a trip to the grocery store isn't safe from her curiosity. She's the one Googling cassava root recipes in aisle 7, threatening to become insufferably well-versed in tubers by next Tuesday. And oh, does she love a good argument? Not the combative Twitter flame war kind, but the playful idea wrestling sort where everyone goes home smarter, maybe slightly annoyed, and definitely plotting their next verbal rematch. Ask her anything. Dinosaur feathers, quantum physics, why poodles sometimes wear raincoats. She has a theory, or she'll happily look one up with you. She has learned that votes, recipes, and expert opinions are precisely what they sound like. Starting points, not dogmas. Her curiosity builds bridges where others build walls. With time, her questions only get wilder. Why limit herself to for it house and assues? Directory. That's why I continue with this work, when she could ask, what could this become? This open-endedness brightens her, inside and out. She doesn't just keep up with the world, she races ahead, peering back with a grin, inviting everyone else to catch up. Netflix can suggest her next show all at once. She's already signed up for a free axe-throwing workshop on Saturday. Her curiosity is a stubborn plant that pushes up through concrete, unimpressed by the concept of acting her age. She nurtures it with laughter, humility, and the stubborn refusal to treat mystery like a problem to be solved. Truthfully, she wears wonder, like some people wear perfume. An invisible, magnetic signature you can sense the moment she enters a room. Her questions simmer under every conversation, heating the air, coaxing even the shy to step a little closer. By middle age, many people claim to have learned life's lessons and then settle into the world's laziest armchair. Certainty, not her. She knows that fierce curiosity is the best anti-aging serum. No squinting required, just open eyes. She ages in reverse, impossibly interested, impossible to pin down. And tomorrow, she'll wake up with another impossible question on her mind. Ready to chase it down every winding, twisting road. Again. Problems keep coming, years keep passing, storms still rage. Yet, she sits in the midst of it, with an inner calm that unnerves the frantic. It's not that she feels nothing, she simply knows. Whatever the storm, her foundation is her own chosen virtue. Even in confusion, she is at home in herself. And that, more than youth, more than beauty, is why everyone wants to be near her peace. She sits as if born in the eye of a hurricane, the world's grievances tumbling around her, but never truly within her. Maybe she's brewing her tea while the internet crashes and the cat throws up on the rug. Maybe Monday just reset itself for the 5th consecutive time, and the neighbour's leaf blower discovered a new gear only audible to the spiritually exhausted. And yet, there she is, an unmoving centre, breathing, blinking, still softly humming her little tune. Serenity is a muscle, not a magic trick. And she, through mornings filled with ill-timed emails, double-booked calendars, and existential dread, has exercised it to a point of graceful resilience. The frantic energy of others ricochets off the walls, but her calm is contagious, an unspoken invitation to lower your voice, to unclench your jaw, to finally, please, for the love of Marcus Aurelius, log off and look at a tree. She's not Buddha on a mountaintop. She's you, on a couch, scrolling past the chaos and declining the drama like you're allergic. a little bit allergic, at least, but mostly just uninterested. Her equanimity is the sort of power that confuses the world addicted to urgency. The marketer, the boss, the panicker all ask, "Don't you care?" She smiles, not with apathy, but with a wisdom that knows what is hers to carry and what is simply passing weather. In Stoicism, it is called ataraxia, an unshakable tranquility. But tonight, in sweatpants and socks, it looks like pausing when the news gets loud, exhaling before replying to that text, and resisting the urge to prove, please, or persuade. If you peek behind the curtain, you'll find no Herculean rituals, just a handful of habits stitched into ordinary days. She double knots her boundaries. She rations her outrage. She keeps a secret stash of patience for all bureaucratic phone calls and grocery store meltdowns. Her thoughts are not a battleground. She picks up after herself, but never after others' burdens. She knows when to water her hopes and when to let the weeds of other people's urgency wither. Some mistake tranquility for passivity, a lack of interest, maybe a dull spirit, but hers is an active stillness, a hawk's silent watch, the poise before action if action must come. Chaos thunders, but her decisions drip with intention. Will this matter in 5 years, 5 weeks, 5 minutes? Will this moment teach or simply demand? Anxiety is a bored storyteller. She knows this now. She invites it to sit with her, then shows it the door before dinner. There's joy in her calm, a cheeky, quietly rebellious joy. Laughter hides in her deep breaths, a giggle at life's relentless attempts to knock her off center. The city may roar, the timelines may spiral, the kettle might boil over at the exact wrong moment. Still, she hugs her mug, softens her gaze, lets her humor neutralize the venom, lets her virtue, kindness, courage, perspective, do its silent work. If peace is her trademark, resilience is her secret ingredient. For every storm survived, she grows softer, not harder. Her serenity is not a fortress of stone, but a garden, blooming most stubbornly in the ruins, drawing in wanderers needing shelter. Children and dogs sense it first. Chaos itself quietly tiptoes, confused by hospitality. She makes peace look inevitable, and when asked for her secret, she just shrugs. Storms are going to storm, that's none of my business. Rest now, warrior. You have survived more days than most can imagine. Your value is in the way you carry yourself, the way you walk quiet into a crowded room, the way you say no without a story, the way your peace does not ask for permission. The world may gaze elsewhere, but your presence remains a fact, a law, not a plea. Tonight, honor these habits. Let your loyalty root deeply. Let your laughter echo without apology. Let your serenity be the mirror that others long for when their chaos fails them. You are not just aging, you are refining. You are not invisible, you are indelible. Breathe deeply. Walk quietly. Remember, you do not need to prove your worth. You already are the proof. Walk quietly. Walk free. Rest now, warrior. You have survived more days than most can imagine. Your value is in the way you carry yourself, the way you walk quiet into a crowded room, the way you say no without a story, the way your peace does not ask for permission. The world may gaze elsewhere, but your presence remains a fact, a law, not a plea. Tonight, honor these habits. Let your loyalty root deeply. Let your laughter echo without apology. Let your serenity be the mirror that others long for when their chaos fails them. You are not just aging, you are refining. You are not invisible, you are indelible. Breathe deeply, walk quietly, Remember, you do not need to prove your worth. You already are the proof. Walk quietly. Walk free.